Ba 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 Bashers Wednesday. Hi everybody, how are you? My name is Dirk. This is the iBashers, Dirk Weekdays. It's your show. I'm the host. I'm wearing my Seiko SUR 323 today, courtesy of the beautiful Jillian. And I love this watch. It's quartz, and you know what? I never have to think about it. No court shame here. Why such a thing? Why does it exist? Ken Furby is, I think I'm fourth, but you're not. You are first in the chat, my darling. I think I'm fourth, 3 spots away from cleaning life's work. I think you made it today. It's all done. Hello to Dirk and all the gang. As part of my UK weatherman's duties, happy to report that the sun is out, but no humidity. I heard you guys are having a really rough time of it. I spoke to Ush earlier today. He said he was in Firenze, and it is hotter than Jehoshaphat. It's crazy there. You know, it's landlocked. It's a big river that nobody cares about. Anytime anybody's ever been to Florence, I've always noticed that the Arno is just really low and really brown, and there's nothing going on. It's not like the Seine or the Thames or any of these celebrated, even the Tiber in Rome. It's like they just seem to really take that river back and do stuff with it. I had dinner there last time I was in Rome on the river, and it was really beautiful. I was like, wow, it's about time, because anytime I'd been there before, I noticed nothing's going on. In Florence, it looks like nothing's going on at all with that river. Just like, why wouldn't they? Obviously, it was the birth of the Renaissance. You know, it's a cradle of amazing art and all these, Da Vinci's from there, and all these amazing people are from there. I don't get it, why that river is so neglected. It's weird. It brings life, then life becomes computerized and complicated, and things are flown in and trucked in. Everything used to come on a river. I don't know. I never understood what's going on with that town. Weird. Ken Furby also says, oops, forgot to upvote and subscribe. You know the drill. Please upvote and subscribe. The funny screen cap that happened yesterday. I was doing the show and having a good time, just doing my thing, and everybody said that there was something funny going on. And JC Kingsley, he goes to me, wait a minute, I'm going to screen cap that, and he sent this to me. So how about this? That's going to be my new one when somebody says something crazy. I added the cuckoo clock to it because it was funny. Great to see you in the room, Ken Furby. Dean's here. More Matrix YouTube glitches in the works. What's happened to the other messages? Come on, YouTube's. It's magic, Or Ozempic, as it is now, because nobody knows that that's a song by Pilot. I remember that when it was on the radio when I was a kid. And I always loved that song. So I'm assuming that there's some missing chitter chatter. So Ken Furby really is fourth. What are you going to do? I don't know. YouTube's a weirdo. YouTube, you're weird. It could be, it's got to be YouTube, right? Because you guys, I only interact on this intermediate software, the software that sits between me and you, and it's called StreamYard. And it's what makes me, gives me the ability to run the show. And, I don't know how that works. Melly C says, good day, Dirk and all the bashers. Happy hump day. Ooh. Happy hump day to you, Melly C. Do you have any more community for us today? I keep the Gallery of Bashtards on my other screen just to see what's coming in, what's not coming in, what's happening, what's not happening. And I always want more and more community, and everybody does. Ray Ray's here. Hey, I thought I commented and I was third. I don't know what's going on with you. YouTube is selectively removing people from my show. Subscribers, we've known that. That's proven fact. I don't know what the problem is. And now it's taking away your comments, which is even weirder. This is not that show, YouTube. This is not the controversial weirdo show where, we're hate streaming and talking smack about people. We don't do that here. We talk about watches. We talk about your cats. We talk about your vacations. We talk about your calls from the AD. We talk about guitars. We talk about everything but the hate stuff. So I don't understand why. I don't know. It's just so boring at this point, YouTube. Come on, wake up. We're a cool group of people. You know why? We're the Bastards. Angelo Minichello. Hello, everybody. Rainy Wednesday here in my neck of the woods, and more flooding in Toronto today. And that's the right way to say Toronto, right? You don't say Toronto. Toronto. There's this very funny, and I never remember her name. There's this Icelandic artist, and I think her name is Spicy Leonice. And it was making the rounds years ago, and it's just this very kooky looking broad, and she makes these music videos, and it's pretty terrible, but it's really amusing. And she's getting on a plane. I think she's at like the Reykjavik airport or whatever the other big city is in Iceland. I forget, Keflavik. And she goes, getting on a plane, getting on something like this. And then she's like, in Toronto. Like she's talking about international, like New York, London, Paris music. Everybody talk about pop music. But she's got her own little twist on it. And she includes Keflavik and Toronto, which is amusing. So many of my favorite musical artists are from Toronto. So there you go, people. And I wish it would rain. It was supposed to rain here all day today, and it has not rained yet. Looming low and ominous, the clouds are, and they're not spitting out their vitriol, which meant I ignored watering my plants and my basil and all my cool stuff out on my deck. And my basil was looking like this afternoon because it's hot. And so I went in there and gave it a shake, and now it looks really good again. I just feel bad because Dana did such a good job at deadheading the seeds and making it look great. Oh, Benedetti. First super chat today. Upvote and subscribe and be an inspiration to others. Oh, look at you. And all the rest of the kind things that Andrew usually writes in this space. I'm a little worried that I don't see Andrew here. Oh, he's here. Okay. Scared me, Andrew. Don't scare me. Because when you're gone, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Al Benedetti with $4.99. Let's start out with something delicious and fun. As always, we start out with the official Super Chat Gong. Thank you, dear Al Benedetti. Dean says, Al Benedetti, sorry to burst your bubble. Andrew put a super chat. Oh, he did. Some messages have disappeared, including Andrew's. Better luck next time around. See, I don't look at that. Generally, don't look at that stuff before the show because I'm, putting up my green screen and getting my camera and sound. And yesterday I had no sound for the first minute because I had the thing. So I should take a look at that. I don't know what that is. It's very odd and it's very weird, and I don't want it. But Al says I'll take number 2. Well, number 2 it is. And thank you for being number 2 because you're number 1 in my heart. You're all number 1 in my hearts. Dean at Al Benedetti. Let's hope the Dragon Matrix don't take it. What? So they took a super chat away? I'm gonna have a bit of Kimbo. Kimbo, which is currently my favorite espresso from Napoli. I absolutely love it. That and Ulius Minel, which is the Austrian coffee. I really like that too. A whole hell of a lot. What's your favorite coffee? You guys coffee people? Who's not a coffee person? Because I grew up Irish, so I didn't see coffee. The only coffee I ever saw when I was a kid was my grandmother's, my nana's Maxwell House. And she'd be like, oh, get me a Maxwell House, will you? And it was freeze-dried. It was instant coffee. I mean, we had no coffee culture. Of course, Ireland is so incredibly cosmo now. And they have all kinds of cuisines from all over the world. And everybody's so posh and all of that stuff. And when I was a kid, everyone was a knacker. So it makes no sense. Now they're all such aficionados when it comes to coffee and cuisine. And isn't it just so romantic? But when I was a kid, everything was boiled and it was in a big pot and there was tea. And I still am a Lions man myself. I know a lot of people are Barry's men and women, but I am a tried and true Lions man. That's my tea. I don't drink tea anywhere near as much as I used to because, I don't know, coffee just kind of ruined my life. Like garlic, I'd never heard of that either. I was like, what is this weird stuff for Italians? Who knew? I had absolutely no idea that there was this kind of natural thing that you could chop up and put in food and make it taste even better. I had no idea. No idea. Why I'm sounding like a hillbilly, I have no idea. Hillbilly is a bad word now, right? How about, and I don't talk politics, but sometimes two very exciting things happening in the world. One was J.D. Vance. That guy's a lunatic. wow. If anybody from across the pond or wherever else you are in the world, he's Donald Trump's running mate. And he wrote a really good book called Hillbilly Elegy. And it's a movie with Glenn Close and Amy Adams. And I saw it and it was really, I mean, Glenn Close, man, would they just give her a freaking Oscar already? That woman is so great. And she never, I mean, she's the Susan Lucci. Susan Lucci is a big soap opera actress who was nominated 50,000 times and never got one. Finally, she did, whatever. For those of you who don't know, and it's probably most of the world. But Glenn Close, you all know who she is. She's amazing. And she's been nominated, I think, 13, 14 times for an Academy Award. She's never won one. That was the movie. I was like, oh, she finally got it. She finally got it. I haven't looked to see who won, but, you know, awards are bullshit anyway. And, you know, they're just blowing. Now at this point, it's gotten so stupid because it's so political. And there's short lists of, oh, you can't let them win because they're this. And you can't let this person. You have to let this person win because they're that. And this, that, or the other, whatever. How about just the best actor wins? The best actress wins? How about that? How about just giving people credit when they deserve it? Not because they tick a box. And that's very political, isn't it? But, you know, I don't care who it is, but it's just the best candidate in the whole wide world should win. The best people should win. Anyway, J.D. Vance, he wrote this book, Hillbilly Elegy. It turns out hillbillies or, you know, mountain folk, people, country folk, rural folk were really mad at that book because they claim that he was appropriating their culture and making them look bad. And, you know, that can happen. And he was a staunch nemesis of Donald Trump, and he said terrible things like he's the American Hitler. The worst possible things you could possibly say about a person. He said it. Now, I'll take that job. Me? Oh my God, me. It just goes to show you that everybody's full of shit. Everyone, except us, the bastards. We're not full of shit. The other thing is, and I'll stop here. I got an email today that Admiral William McRaven is being considered for Kamala's vice presidency slot. And, you know, I went from who cares to I care because I love that guy because he's nonpartisan. He's extremely level-headed. He's an admiral. He took out bin Laden, even though it's questionable whether or not bin Laden was blah, 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 blah. Anyway, this guy's a great guy. He looks at things very pragmatically. I've been obsessed with him for a while. Little man crush on McRaven. Great idea. She won't pick him. She won't. She's going to pick the governor of Pennsylvania or that dude from North Carolina. Who knows? Who knows? Al Benedetti says, oh, got that already. Got that. You'll take number 2. I went too far. Hitesh C. Hey, Hitesh. Great to see you live and in person in the room. And Dave Fitzsimons is here. Whoop, whoop. Hey, Basharisti. Let's bash away. There you go. Does anybody on this side of the pond, does anybody know who Admiral McRaven is? And listen, I'm all about ideas. I'm all about listening because that's what makes the world go around. You know what? Educate me, as I always say, because sometimes we need to be taught things that we don't know because we've been pressured or listened to this chatter or that chatter or this chatter, and we are all capable of being indoctrinated into something. And like-minded people say the things we want to hear. I don't particularly care for that, but I'm guilty of it just as much as the next person is. And, you know, we're in a crucial time in America. We're in a crucial time. And I had a little statement the other night that I said, I just don't care. And it's true. I really don't care. But I care if he drops in because I love that guy. He wrote a book called Make Your Own Bed. And I really believe that everybody should make their own bed. Just take a little bit of time to have responsibility for yourself. And then you can truly take responsibility and help others. I really feel that that's true. It won't work if you can't take care of yourself in some capacity. You got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps, and then you could do that. Everybody loves to chat about what they can do when they do in this show, and it has been demonstrated time and time again by the people who are a part of this show, iBashers, that you guys all want to pay it forward. Simple as like, gifts people receive, kindness, condolences, the abdication of the number one basher of the day. Who is the basher of the day officially? Is it Ken Furby? It is. I can't tell. Can anybody tell me who it was? I don't know. It's not fair. And I've been slacking on this basher of the day thing because it has to go to email, which is a pain in the ass. And I'm going to make a commitment today on my Laverne pad. I'm going to say, somebody tell me the name of who was the true basher of the day. Because I want to make sure I start making sure that I do these basher of the day videos. That's important because I said I was going to do it and I did it for a while. And then the email thing happened and I wasn't able to complete the task. And I think that's shitty. And I would like to not be that guy. Andrew, there you are. Hello, everyone. It's great to see you. I had to scroll down real quick to see if you were here. Nathaniel Hannon, hey, I write to you from the jolly old under the heel of the oppressor. Cryptic as always. You know, sometimes I'm just too damn stupid for Nathaniel Hannon because that guy, he operates on a completely different intellectual frequency than most people. Just from the jolly old under the heel of the oppressor. I don't even know what that means. Hey, Nathaniel, what do you think about McRaven? What do you think? I love that guy. You know why I love most about him? That he's a military decorated admiral, 4-star admiral, and he is right up the middle. He is completely not part. He's a registered independent, which is crazy. Which we should all be, because it's ridiculous to pick one or the other, because they're all nuts. They're all crazy. They're all crazy. You know what they are? You know what those people are? Hold on. I got to put this up closer. I love that. Thank you, JC Kingsley, for sending that to me. It's nuts. Hiteshi is number 13. Oh, 13's lucky in a lot of different cultures. You never know. Andrew gives a big smile. We love you, man. Thank you. Scotty H. Lord H. is in the room. I was number 6. You were number 6. So how many, I'm looking at them now, how many of these got knocked out? And why? Why isn't there a hotline where I can go, hi, is this Melissa at YouTube? Listen, I have a problem. I don't know. No, I don't know. Andrew says, maybe that's the problem. Perhaps YouTube wants the drama. Oh, they want to get rid of good people. Well, they're not going to do it on my watch. Not on my watch. JBB with $10. Since when do you water bezels? What does that mean? It's very interesting. Since when do you water bezels? Bezels. What does that mean? Bezels on a watch? I can't. Well, I could water a couple of these are waterproof. But that's surely not what you mean. And for you, the big Melly C. Thank you so much, JBB. Melly C says, I'm an herbal tea person. Coffee gives me the shake, rattle, and roll. I have said this, and this is a statement I will stick to. The second the doctor comes out after all the tests and says, you need to give up caffeine, I am so screwed because look at this. I'm just like a junkie. I love caffeine. I'm gonna go find the highest, closest bridge because I love caffeine. And a couple of times I've woken up and either been out of coffee or said I'll go get coffee because I'm out. And then I hate to say it, but I actually think I feel better. And then once I do the coffee thing, it's like, oh shit. All right, now I get it. Now I'm all rattly, but that's kind of like, I guess everybody knows me that way because I'm always caffeinated generally, though it doesn't affect my sleep in any way. I took a nap this afternoon and I had a bunch of coffee this morning. I love to take an afternoon nap after a lunch or whatever. I just like it. But herbal tea, which herbal tea? I'm an Irish tea guy. It's got to be black tea. It's got to be strong. And I don't usually use dairy, but I do I drink my tea with just a little spot of milk, and that's it. No sugar. I'm not a sugar person. Not a fan. Not fan. Ray, off topic, Dirk. You ever heard of the eternal jellyfish? No, but I've heard of the band Jellyfish, and we've talked about them on my show. What is the eternal? Is this like some life form that doesn't die? Is it here we are, born to be kings, we're the eternal jellyfish. Is that a real thing? Tell me, Ray. I want to know. Tell me everything you know. How do you take your coffee? Maybe this is a great. I have to learn how to do like I'm sure there's a way to do it. I'll have to ask Tim Wright because he knows how to do all the polls. Wouldn't that be cool to have polls on the show? I got to ask him. It'd be great. How do you take your coffee? Coffee black and hot in a mug, no bloody sprinkle, a bit of rye or whiskey. Well, you're talking about a totally different thing, sir. Melly C says loose leaf tea only. Loose leaf tea. I used to be super into that, like when I was on a super, like, for years, like as I became an adult, and I was going to this place called McNulty's down in the Greenwich Village and buying my tea loose, and I had all the strainers and all that stuff. And then I don't know, coffee just took me away and just ruined me forever. And I just like my coffee black. This is the way I like my coffee. Just double shot of black espresso and I'm done. Dean says, Dirk, I'm off tomorrow to a 3-day huge country fair. Everything is there. Animals, displays, talent, military vehicles, sports cars, and lots of booze. Dean, I cannot wait to feature this on tomorrow's show. Can we do that? Can we do a featurette? That would be fantastic. Tomorrow. Well, you're 6 hours ahead of me, so maybe that'll be perfect timing. This reminds me of when I was a kid. There used to be a thing called the Renaissance Fair, and it was up in Sterling Forest, New York. Now, for most of you, you know that New York City is a pretty small place. Just got a lot of people and tall buildings and things, but New York State is ginormous. I mean, to get from here to the other side of the state, it takes about 4 or 5 hours. It's very far away. I mean, we drove up to the Niagara Falls, and I don't even remember how long that took. It was a whole day. And Niagara Falls is right on the Canadian border. And that's not even all the way out because it's long. It's if I had to draw New York State, I would do like this. That's what New York State kind of looks like. And we are right here. We're right here. Niagara Falls is here. That's Canada. That's Canada there. And this is the capital is Albany, which is all the way near the top. And to get all the way over here, this is like you get over to the Great Lakes there. It's crazy how New York is ginormous. Anyway, there used to be this place called the Renaissance Festival. And it was like come in costumes, colors bright, thrill to the joust, spend a day with our knights. Come and meet a lady fair, Shakespeare, Chaucer, a grand pleasure fair. And I went to it once, and I remember because I was into medieval stuff and all that Game of Thrones stuff. I got that out of my system long ago. I haven't watched that show because I'm just so burnt out on Dungeons and Dragons and Wizards and crap, because all that music, it was in all the music I listened to. And I studied and read all the books, and I read all that. I read all those books. Of course, Game of Thrones wasn't a thing yet. So I went with my friend Mel, and we drove up there, and I couldn't wait to taste mead because I was like, well, what did all the knights of the Round Table and the people of the realm, what were they drinking in their golden chalices and while peeling grapes and all that stuff? And they drank mead, which is a honey wine, a medieval wine. And I was obsessed with the movie Excalibur, John Borman's Excalibur, which, if you haven't seen it, it's magnificent. And I'm going to digress for a second because I have not seen 7, because last night I got caught up in one of those murder shows just on regular TV, and it turned out to be whatever. It took just forever. 7 will be this evening. But if you haven't seen Excalibur, it's John Borman, who did Deliverance, amongst other great films. And it's got Noel, forget the guy who played Merlin. He was amazing. He speaks like this in the term, the charm of making is in that. And I forget the guy who played King Arthur. He was a journeyman actor. He did that, and I don't think he ever did much after that. But Morgan Le Fay is Helen Mirren, and she's young and beautiful, and Liam Neeson is in it, as are a bunch of other actors that became famous. And they're sitting around there drinking mead. I couldn't wait, and I went up to this, medieval kind of saloon or whatever they would call a place to procure their refreshment, their refreshments, alcoholic refreshments. And I spit it out so fast because it was the sweetest, most disgusting thing I've ever seen. And they gave it to you in golden paper chalices. That's how corny it was. But the rest of the fair was amazing. And I had a really good time. But this sounds like a more modern affair, something more interesting with cars and military vehicles, very, very sports cars and booze and animals. What do you mean by animals? I hope it's not like animals on display. Not my thing. Not a big fan of the circus. I'm not a big fan of animals for entertainment. If they have like some nice adoption things or rescues, stuff like that, then I think it's beautiful. But that other stuff, like, here's a rhinoceros. Say, look, an African elephant. Well, that elephant should be in Africa. That's just the way it should be. Why we do that, I don't know. We're weird. Weird. I sent you an email screenshot, Andrew Wolkowicz. Oh, you did, huh? Just in case it disappeared on your end. Oh, Dave, Fahrenheit 451 was first. You abdicated once before. Oh, here it is. Live chat. Welcome to the live chat. Well, I'm going to show it. Thank you, Andrew. On top. Why does this happen? There it is. There's the live chat. In 4 hours, Andrew with Canadian $5. I'll be here, and so should everyone else. Take a moment to be an inspiration in others' lives and a blessing in their memories. Upvote and subscribe. Oh, Andrew. Oh, you know what you get for that? I'm going to give you something extra special. What can I give you for that? I have so many to choose from. That's the problem. So many to choose from. I'm going to give you this. I just won't play it that long. But thank you so much for that, Andrew. And thank you all, one and all, for letting me know about that, because I had no idea. I have no way of knowing, and that's bullshit. Why would they remove that? Why? My screen says Ken Furby. Yeah, it does. Mine does too now, but apparently that wasn't true. Dave, Fahrenheit 451. Da, 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 da. I'm in England. I know McRaven. Nice guy, straight shooter. Yes, indeed. I love him. Man Crush City. That's the guy I would want to be a effective leader. He has and the pundits were on TV talking about him, saying that he's got no foreign policy. Foreign policy? Are you crazy? That guy's in the trenches. That guy's he's in the field. He's got maps and strategies and all this stuff, and he knows who the bad guys are, and the real bad guys, not the political bad guys, the money bad guys, not those guys. Those are the real bad guys, but the guys that want to kill you, not the guys that want to steal from you. So yeah, he's a straight shooter. He's so amazing. I'll tell you, if he gets in the race, you might see me getting excited, only because I'll feel like we have a future. We have a guy who cares. We have a guy who cares about the left and the right and wants to bring people together. He's a great communicator, and that's the kind of shit I like. Oh yeah. Oh. See how slow I am, JBB? You said earlier that you were watering your basil. It was my basil. I'm going to call it basil from now on. You're hilarious. Ken Furby says, Andrew was number one when I chipped in at the fourth. Yeah, there. Now I know it. Now I know. Green tea. I do drink green tea when I'm sick, because it always, I don't know, for some crazy reason, it kind of makes me feel like I feel better. I don't know how true that is. Andrew Wolkowicz. I was the first super chat. Dave Fahrenheit 451 was first. I forgive him. Dave Fitzsimon's telling us his coffee pickup, flat white, twice a day, morning and mid-afternoon. 2 moments I look forward to and savor every single day. Me too. I don't know, when I wake up and I just kind of meander around, wash my face and brush my teeth, and I need a little time in between brushing my teeth and coffee. I don't know. I don't drink orange juice because I don't like it, because American orange juice is gross. I do like orange juice when I'm in Europe because it's natural and it feels like it came out of an orange, whereas and I'm from New York, so I say orange instead of orange. Orange juice in America is pasteurized, and I don't know what happens with it. If you go get fresh squeezed orange juice, it's a totally different thing. But to just get a regular orange juice in America, like most foods here, they have been processed. There's some horrific system that's been going on since World War II, since rationing and trying to figure out ways to get more people fed. There's too much manufacturing involved. There's too many additives. There's too much stuff. We don't have the laws that most countries have in the world to make sure that what we're getting is healthy and natural. Orange juice here burns. It's really acidic and it really burns. It doesn't taste good at all. I never drink that. But anyway, I look forward to that cup of coffee, and especially when it's brewing. It just, oh my God, the smell hits you and it's so great. Love it. Flat white, very, very. Flat white originated in Britain, right? And just to make sure, because I've made coffees, I've never been a barista or anything like that. But a flat white is just like a coffee, like a lungo, but with just steamed milk on the top. There's no froth. Correct, Dave? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. Angelo Minikilo, Dirk, sorry, but New York State doesn't compare to Ontario. No, of course not. Canada is huge, or Canada, as the Canadians say, Canada. No, of course not. It's people. Every time I look at a map of the world, I'm always like, holy shit, Canada is enormous. Now, I'm just saying, in terms of people think of New York, what the comparison I was trying to make was that when people think of New York, they think of Manhattan, generally. But New York State there's a lot of rural country in New York State. I mean, you get an hour outside of New York, people are listening to country music. They're all Trumpers. Like, it becomes rural town. It gets really rural until you get towards Canada, I guess, even when you get to Albany, even though it's the state capital. And, I don't know what the United States, we love the Capitals game. Ush and I have played that, and I'm fascinated by capitals. Like the capital of Maryland, and it's Maryland, not Maryland or Maryland, is Annapolis, and most people think it's Baltimore. The biggest city in a state is usually not the capital, except for like Boston. That's the capital of Massachusetts. But like our capital is Albany, California is Sacramento. It's not Los Angeles. Carson is the capital of Nevada, right? I mean, Austin is the capital of Texas, and you would think it would be Dallas. Tallahassee is the capital of Florida, and you would think it's Miami or Orlando. Orlando was not even a thing until Disney put it on the map. It was just a place to go get eaten by alligators, Ken Furby says the disappearing chats are very weird. They are very weird, my friend, and I don't really understand what that is about. Ray says, Colonel Raven studied journalism in college, and yes, you spot an eternal jellyfish, a reverse aging process by regrowth of cells. I likes you a lot. I likes you too, kiddo. 7, what a great movie. I've never seen it. Dirk's got a lot of movies. He's not, because Sheen likes to say that. And I was talking about Alec Baldwin yesterday. Regardless of what anybody thinks of his liberal politics and all that stuff, he's a guy's amazing student of film and society and politics. He could probably wipe the floor with people and knowing stuff. But he was talking about, I love old movies. I love classic Hollywood cinema. I like modern films too, but it's a completely different animal. And he goes, in Alec Baldwin's voice, he goes, well, it's a different time. Joan Crawford and Betty Davis weren't the same as, Nicole Kidman. It's a different acting style. It's a different way, whereas film became more realistic in the late 60s. It became more lifelike, grittier, more natural, whereas people were acting before and saying, 7, what a great movie. It's so great to see you in the room. Anyway, it's been a fortnight since last we spoke. Anyway, get me on the line. They had a whole different way it was theatrical. It was more different. Anyway, I like it a lot. And I've seen most of the great classic films. Not all, lots. But I did miss out on a lot of pop culture films growing up. I don't know why. I don't know if my mother wouldn't allow us to watch them. I do know one thing, like when Saturday Night Fever came out, we were little kids. And they had 2 versions in the theater, the R-rated version and the PG parental guidance version. And our best friends were our neighbors, the François, Elique and Fanu François, and their mother, Ilde François, one of the most beautiful people in the whole wide world, and the second mother to us, and all that stuff. We spent so much time with them when we were kids. And she was going to take us to see Saturday Night Fever. And then out of nowhere, we were told, you can't go. No explanation was made. Nothing was said. All of a sudden, we just weren't going to see that. And there was a version that was for all audiences, because there's a lot of dirty language. I don't think, and there's a little bit of misogyny. There's a couple of things. Donna Pescow, that whole scene with her is not very nice. But I guess they cut it out. Anyway, I didn't get to see it. I didn't get to see a lot of films, and I've given you the list, doesn't matter. But if there's a pop culture film or a film you really want me to see and talk about it on the show, since we talk about anything, it's your show. I just host it. That's this show. That's what I've determined over the course of the almost a year that I've been doing iBashers every day is I don't care what I have to say. I care what you have to say because it makes life so much more interesting. You guys have turned me on to so many different things. Forget about watches, movies, and music, and the videos that you sent, and book ideas you've told me about, outrageous things, recipes. We've discussed. Nathaniel Hannon sent me recipes from his family from way back when, and I love to bake and cook. And I love that stuff. Knowledge is power, kids. Knowledge is power. We never, ever stop learning. Unless you're Joe Biden. But crazy. Gabriel Byrne also. Oh, Gabriel Byrne is in it. That's correct. He's in Excalibur. There's so many people in Excalibur. Such a great one. Andrew says, Angelo, no kidding. I've met Americans that were shocked when they drove 4 days in Ontario and they're still in the province. They turned around to come back. I always love to talk about what the provinces because I think I got them right. And then I spent, a wonderful afternoon and evening with Angelo. And I was like, I'm going to just wow him with my knowledge. And I forgot New Brunswick. I forgot it because there's so many. And then there's the territories and those count and they don't count. But it's just good to know. It's nice to know also because if you meet a Canadian, isn't it nice that you have a little bit of knowledge of where they're from? Growing up in New York, we were exposed to Second City Television, so we knew all the comedy, exposed to all the great music. Anne Murray, that's probably the first Canadian I ever was aware of as a Canadian, probably. Anne Murray. You Needed Me. That was all over the radio. And Canadian chanteuse Anne Murray. And I believe she's from, Anne Murray is from Nova Scotia. Is that right? I hope so. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, it's just nice to know. It's just nice to know a little bit. Americans in general don't have a whole hell of a lot of international knowledge. And I'm not digging at it. It's just we're not taught a lot of that stuff in school and things like that. Whereas why we don't speak multiple languages. I mean, that's obviously going to change because, the complexion of our civilization globally is changing. Because people just can't stop, procreating. When I was a kid, there was 5 billion people. Now there's 9. I don't know how that happens. We have, sexual diseases that can kill you, and people have careers, but yet, you know what it is? It's modern medicine keeping people alive. I don't think we have more kids in the world. I just think people are living longer lives, and that's nice too. So where was I? I was ranting on that. Dean says fly fishing, horse parade, dog shows, birds of prey displays. Okay. Okay. This is fly fishing. But what is fly fishing is just casting, right? You're not actually reeling anything in, or if you do a horse parade. So is that dressage? I find dressage to be very interesting. Aren't I a fancy horse? Yeah. They do that backwards kind of thing, and they have kind of beautiful decorations on their limbs, and they go back and forth. Very odd. Horses are probably like, you guys are dicks. Something extra special. How naughty. What would Paul say? What did I mean by something extra special? I don't even know what I said. Did I say something naughty, Andrew? Oh, how interesting. Flat White is Australian. Is that so? See, that's why I love this show. I didn't know that. Is it true that it's just steamed milk on top of coffee, right? It's not, there's no foam. Foam would make it. A latte, right? A flat white, because it's flat, so it's not foamy. It's Australian. Now, the integration of Australia had a very big moment, and obviously, even though the Bee Gees technically are not Australian, I'm sure that Australians claim them, and they should because they grew up there, but they are technically English people, right? I don't know. Obviously, that took the shot at Trump. He was not a straight shooter. What? Too soon? Obviously, that took the shots at Trumpy. You don't need to take shots at him. He takes shots at himself, and Kamala Harris is coming on really hard right now, and she's getting approval rates all over the place. I'm not a fan of her at all, but I will be a fan of her if she includes Mr. McRaven, because all I can think of is like, oh my God, I would love that guy to be president. I would just love somebody with a needle in the middle who has so much experience and he's not like a blowhard. Oh my God, that'd be so great. Professional politicians give me the just so gross. It's such an ego fest. It's Frank Underwood from House of Cards. That's what it is. So back to this, Andrew, Americans don't know how big Ontario is. The provinces in Canada are ginormous. It's incredible. And what's the population of Canada? Because think about it. It goes all the way up to the Arctic Circle. Incredible. Incredible. Hey, Angelo, here's a really interesting question. How far north have you ever been? And do Canadians have any aspirational ideas towards going up there and seeing what I'm sure it's all national parks and amazing glaciers and things like that. That's really cool. I've always wanted to see that. I know you can get to Antarctica because Antarctica is actually a continent and the Arctic Circle is just kind of like where land masses meet, and there's a kind of a pool of water there. The the Arctic Sea. How many people in Canada generally do stuff like that? I don't know. I have no idea. You know how to put your whistle, put your two lips together and blow. Best line ever. Of course, that was said by Lauren Bacall. Yeah, absolutely incredible. Yeah, I mean, those kind of movies, they're so romantic, the black and white films. There was something about the way they filmed them. But then there's, the new wave of cinema, the Cassavetes thing and all the Spielberg things. And is it true that Julia Roberts and Steven Spielberg hate each other? I can't imagine anybody hating Steven Spielberg. I saw a lot of, YouTube clips of the Julia Roberts. It could be clickbait. Apparently they didn't get along when they did that movie Hook. I've never seen Hook. I've seen every Spielberg movie but that because it looks really stupid. I read an article that Robin Williams hated that movie so much because he's a hairy beast. They had to wax him almost every single day because he was such a beast, and he was playing who was he playing? Peter Pan? Was he Peter Pan? Or she was Tinkerbell? She was Tinkerbell, right? Yes, he was Peter Pan. Bad choice for Peter Pan. I mean, he'd be better Brutus or Bluto, right? Dirk, I know, but I cannot explain to you how funny Life of Brian is. Not that good an educator. Listen, maybe now that I'm older, dearest Ray, I will take a gander at some more Monty Python because Monty Python, as the British like to say. I'll go see, if there's something in it for me now. Because when I was a kid, I just went right over my head. Fawlty Towers. I love those guys individually. I've seen all the Terry Gilliam movies. I love those guys. Michael Palin is a genius. Ken, A Fish Called Wanda is a masterpiece. Those guys are, John Cleese I love them. I love those guys. I never remember. Terry Gilliam is the American guy, right? There's one guy, I always forget his name. Yeah. In the motels, that's right. I love the motels. Magic Mike 71 says Anne Murray was always considered cheesy, but then again, I love cheesy. I love cheesy too. What's funny? The Carpenters were considered as cheesy as music could get in the 1970s. And now every musician that I know rock, my profession was a metal singer, even though that's not where I started, that's where I liked and wound up. I always thought that they were amazing. I never had that, but the conoscenti later on have determined that that's genius. I mean, she's obviously one of the greatest singers of all time, but that stuff was considered really corny and cheesy. And there was so much AM gold. I talk about this all the time. The one thing that probably Europe didn't get, because have you heard Italian pop? It's bad. The Brits had like yummy, 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 I got love in my tummy. And they had some great British invasion stuff, and a lot of it came here. But we had all this amazing soft rock that now everybody gravitates to. It's so relaxing. There are digital stations and on all those, whatever those XFM or whatever those radio stations are that you acquire digitally. I don't drive, so I don't know. But I know that we have like Sirius XM and whatever that stuff is, whatever the equivalent is. There are stations dedicated to the sounds of bread. Do you remember bread? If a picture paints 1,000 words, then why can't I have you? It's like amazing soft rock. What was that band? Here I am, the one that you love. What is the name of that band? You guys will know. They're from Australia and they're amazing. I forget. Those guys were considered really corny and cheesy too. JBB says, I saw Gregory's Girl years ago when it first came out. Yesterday, I watched it again for free on YouTube. Isn't that weird how they could put free movies on YouTube? A great, funny Scottish movie and a favorite of Martin Scorsese. I've seen that movie. It's fantastic. Yeah. Melly C reiterating what a flat white is. Yes, steamed milk, no foam, served in a porcelain cup, as all coffee should. America has this terrible culture of getting a coffee and then walking through the streets with it. And I know it's happening now. And here's a really sad story. We had this beautiful diner called the Dorian Diner up my street and down the block. And it's been a diner for 100 years. And we just found out that it's going to be, a Starbucks. Angelo Minichello says 45 million, Fort McMurray, Northern Alberta way. There you go. Good to know. Population of Canada is currently 4. There you go. You guys fight over it. Well, you're both Canadian, so there you go. Ray says, my alco of a cousin taught Ronnie Woods, Daniel Day-Lewis, the uber rich and shameless and powerful, how to fly fish out on Connemara for 20 years. Other stores. I guess, that's a smart idea if you got a role coming up and you need to, Ronnie Woods he's a painter and a rock star. And from what I hear, one of the coolest people in the whole wide world. Ken Furby says, one of our Olympians has been taken off the team for an old video showing her whipping her horse to force it to perform the dressage tricks. Oh God, Ken. She was a multiple medal winner. Listen, speechless, my friend. The circus used to come to town, Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. That was a really big thing in the United States. It was around for, 150 years or something like that. And I live right by the entrance to the Midtown Tunnel. So if I walk up my street and go about 3 blocks, I can see the traffic going into the Midtown Tunnel, and that goes all the way to Manhattan. That is how they got the circus animals, like elephants. They walked them through the tunnel, and it was an event every year, and I hated it because I've always hated the idea of circus animals. And no matter how they show you, there is somebody who is disciplining these animals to make it do what that human wants it to do. And it's for entertainment purposes. That's why stuff like the Cirque du Soleil was invented, to take those. They have animals in the show, but they're people dressed as animals, and all those amazing. The guy, what was his name? Francois Dragon. I think one of those guys passed away. I'm not sure who it was. Guy de Liberté is the owner of Guy de Liberté. He's the owner of Cirque du Soleil. And he said, I'm just going to make a circus with amazing people and amazing music and amazing sights and sound. We're not going to have any animal cruelty, because there's always been animal cruelty in the zoos and circuses and things like that. The carriage rides in New York City are just horrific. And thank God. And guess who got rid of that? Alec Baldwin. He pushed for legislature that at a certain degree mark, because there was no way they were going to stop doing it. Eventually they probably will, because we're all waking up as a society and what's cruel and what's not cruel. But now when it goes over, I think it's 81 degrees, they take them off the streets because they'll die. And a couple of them did, which is horrible. Why do we do that? Melly C says, I love the Carpenters. Karen Carpenter's voice is unbelievable. It's one of the best there ever was in the whole wide world. It's so sad that she passed away too soon. She passed away so very young. So very young. When you think about, having all these bands, Led Zeppelin, and all these people are all, except for John Bonham, they're all still alive. Robert Plant still sings. Jimmy still plays. The Rolling Stones are out on the road. Charlie Watts is gone, and it's crazy that how much more music would we have had from her? Terrible. Scotty H. I want to visit a town in Newfoundland that starts with a D and ends with an O. Is this trivia? Okay, Canadians, on your marks, get set, go. Air Supply, thank you very much. MLEC Air Supply, you guys are Starbucks. Yeah, because it's crap. I was rounding off. 45 minutes in, and the best you have is Trudeau. 45 million, the best is Trudeau. Well, look at the United States. The best we have is the best we had was Trump and Biden. Can I say one thing? And I'm not the biggest fan of Kamala Harris. I will be a big fan if McRaven joins the ticket, which won't happen. But at least she's young. I think she's 60. At least you have somebody who can make. There has to be an age cap on candidates. There has to be. 35 is the minimum you can be. Think about that. I think 65, 70 tops. And then you should be out and enjoying a ice cold Corona on the beach with your grandchildren. I don't think anybody should be allowed to do that. It's ridiculous. And it's elder abuse. I don't like it. Andrew says, I was driving once and I saw a sign that I was halfway to the North Pole. Turned, and then my wife said we should get more gas. That's good. Dave Fitzsimon says, gee, she could. Melly C says the evil empire. I'm just yakking away. And you know what I totally forgot about? We have a Gallery of Bastards. The Gallery of Bastards. Send me the shots, the sublime, the absurd. The Gallery of Bastards. You share them with me, and I share with the world. The Gallery of Bashtards. I'm just checking my text messages because I sent a message to my sister Pat, because yesterday I told you guys about I had some pictures, and I'm not going to show them until I have the AB. I told you guys that we went and we visited the house I grew up in until I was 7-ish or whatever. And I remembered it, but I remembered it being this big house and it was small. And we took a picture on the stairs in the exact same pose as this famous picture. I don't have the famous picture. I only have the new pictures. My sister Carrie sent them. I asked my sister Pat if she had them because I'll show it on a show, because we were talking about that, because it's really funny. It's like you get to see 7-year-old Dirk and then 50 some odd year old Dirk and it was in the middle of the pandemic. So it was crazy. So I'll show that the next time. Let's start it off as always with some of the kids from the Wolkovich house. Oh, look at you, you beautiful baby. Oh, look at this. To both of them. Oh shit. What's going on there? I like how you have that in the middle of the room. What's that for? Is that a boundary? Have you set the boundaries because there's a war ensuing? What is going on in the world? Oh, that you're on top of the stairs. Somebody's having a good time and somebody looks a little annoyed. I don't know exactly how that works. Cats. Oh, Senor sleeping. Oh, they're beautiful, man. Thank you, Andrew. Sorry about that algorithm today. I don't know what to say. I have nothing to do with YouTube. I don't know how it works. I don't know why they're fucking with me. It's horrible. Andrew sends one more picture and he says, time for a nap. Absolutely true. Look at that. Amazing. Thank you, Andrew. Where's my earrings? Boom, 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 boom. Who's next up in the Gallery of Bastards? I want to tell you guys that something that's going to happen on Sunday, because we kind of made it happen. Al Benedetti and I are going to do a show because he went to an event held by Teddy Baldassar. Now, I'll give you a little background on it now. He invited me and I couldn't go because I had all those birthdays that I had to deal with. I do that. And I couldn't go, but he went with his daughter, and he's going to be on the show on Sunday Mass. We're going to have Mr. Al Benedetti on the show, and he's going to bring along some beautiful photographs and stuff of this Grand Seiko event on iBashers. We're going to be looking into Grand Seiko, his experience there, all the stuff. He's going to actually be on the show, like guest on the show, which is really exciting. That's been in the works for a little while. We're just trying to get the content and blah blah blah. So we'll have him on the show for the hour on Sunday. So he just sent me a bunch of stuff, and obviously I'm not going to show that until later. And Vasilios, you sent me a video. I'll have to download it and then send it, but I can't do it right now because it won't let me do that. It won't let me. Okay, so where am I? Uh-oh, my Gmail's mad at me right now. Hold on a second. There it goes. Yeah, so Angelo Minikillo gardening. I'll download it though. Let me do that right now. So I don't know what it is. So I have to hit the download on this, right? Download it. Let's see what it is. I don't know what it is. Oh, can I show it? Will this work? I downloaded some new software, Ray too, so you know. Look at it. It does work. That's beautiful. Thank you. Little short clips. I can download them now and I can show them. How cool is that? Because Ray is always sending me clips and I'm like, Ray, I can't play them. Well, I can now. So you can send your clips. Send me your clips. The sublime, the obscure. Angelo Minichello in the house with gardening. As you all know, he's got a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place with lots of beautiful stuff. I'm sure Dean would find this incredibly intriguing. Right, he was changing all the pavers out and doing a whole new spruce up. Looks beautiful, nice and clean. How cold does it get up there? It gets cold here. It must get really cold up there. Look at that. Oh, those are gorgeous. Wow. How pretty. How pretty, pretty, pretty. Look at that. So modern. Is that all copper, your roof? Wow, that's beautiful. Oh, those are great. What do you call those, Angelo? What are those? I know Dean will be like, I know. Easy, be like, I know. You guys are monsters, you know, all that stuff. That's beautiful. He's doing a whole redo on his place with all the new flora and fauna. Looking beautiful, man. Oh, yeah. Becky Brown sent this back to me because one, we love her, and you send me anything, I'll show it. Because I showed this a couple of weeks ago, or last week, and she was looking at it and she just realized, look what it's got. This is great. This was when she was in Monaco. Hence the Monaco by Tag Heuer. But look at this, because we went to the car show with her. She took us to the car show. Look at that. Look at this. It's got a race car. This is obviously, this is from the collection of Prince Rainier. So obviously, this is all very fancy stuff. All those crazy cars you saw, they were beautiful. Isn't that amazing? Thank you, Becky. I didn't see that last time. I'm glad you pointed it out. Thank you so much. And Angelo Minichello says the new Omega. I'm aware of these. I just didn't know that they put them up online. I had read about them. So here we go. It's a couple of new Omegas. Let's see. 3 winning materials in tribute to sporting achievements. The special edition watch featuring a 39 millimeter case, perfect size for almost everybody except Sushina Mali. Case crafted in Omega's exclusive bronze gold, a radiant dial made from 925 silver and slender hands with 18 karat Sedna gold and a special PVD bronze gold coating. These are beautiful. Look at this watch. Isn't that pretty? Well, the Olympics are about to start this weekend, and they are the official timekeeper of the Olympics in general. This thing is gorgeous. Jesus, they do a commemorative watch every year. Holy crap. That is spectacular. Wow. Wowee kazowie. Is that beautiful? No, I don't want to stay in touch with your newsletter. Make me do that. That's it. I thought there was 3 pictures. Oh, that's the 3rd picture, is this subscribe and like. That's what they do. That's amazing. Let me just click that. Yeah, that's what that is. That's a beautiful watch. Absolutely beautiful. Melly C, more Eminem madness. It's Mock and Mindy madness. Eminem madness. The cats are back in town. Oh, Minty. Stop being so cute. Oh, that blanket. Look at that. Look at her. Oh, look at her. So pretty. Such a beautiful lady. Oh, Mork. Now we know how handsome he is because we had that close up yesterday. See, I love his one little curly, because when you have a cat, you don't realize that their whiskers go out to here because you're just looking at them all day long and you're petting them. You don't realize that they have these whiskers, and then when they pass you in the sunlight, you're like, holy crap, they look like space aliens. But he's got that one little curly cue coming out of his eyebrow, which is so cool. Uh-oh, she's tripping. Look at that face. She's looking at something serious. Uh-oh. What's going on? Put up, you do. Put him up. Put him up. I said, put him up. Put him up. Unbelievable. Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet. Well, it's a shame that your cats don't have lots of places to recline, Melly. And none of them were concocted for them. They just take up residence wherever the hell they want. Beautiful. Little M&M madness. Thank you, darling. And Ray. What's going on here? Is this what I think it is? In the mainland waiting for me. I don't know. Let's see what this says. Don't know, Ray. I don't know, but it looks like it says it's got something in it with a battery. I don't know what that is, Ray. I have no idea. Why don't you tell us, darling? I have no idea what that could possibly be. I have no idea. No idea. I don't know. Andrew says, Angelo, it's cool. I heard today that so far this year we've brought more people than all of last year, but still not enough housing or doctors or jobs. Hard to believe for the newbie to pay taxes. I guess that's true. Dave Fitzsimon says, gee, she could have met Santa at Andrew. Scotty H says, it's close to Spread Eagle. You guys are funny as hell. Dave, you're all talking amongst yourselves. Snagglepuss. Put him up. No, not Snaggle. Is that no, I was doing the Cowardly Lion from the Wizard of Oz. Put him up, and then he goes, because he's got no courage whatsoever, because it's terrible. Anyway, that's the where am I with this? All right, I'm slow with the music.
The Gallery of Bashtards, send me the shots, the sublimely absurd. The Gallery of Bashtards, you share them with me, and I share with the world.
Put him up. And the Snagglepuss's exit stage left. Hi. He's the gayest tiger there is in the whole wide world. Snagglepuss. He's like, I'm Snagglepuss. You know that they did all that shit on purpose, and the kids had no idea what that is. I have a great idea. Let's make this pink tiger, and let's make him really femme, and he'll be funny. And I remember, like, when the light bulb went on, I went, oh. And there was like Yogi Bear and all those other guys. Anyway, hilarious shit. Anyway, guys, ladies and germs, that's the show for today. Thanks so much for joining me. Wait a second. Ray says, whoops, did I send a watch and whalebone photo? This is getting weird. I don't know what you did. Ray, I don't know what you did. Thanks for joining me on this wonderful Wednesday. As always, I'll be back tomorrow on Thursday. We'll do a recap of the week. We'll talk a little bit more about Al Benedetti's show on Sunday and stuff. Listen, the word is out, man. This is a show about you. I do this show primarily because I just love spending time with you every single day. It's become somewhat of my career, and I'm grateful for that. And I want to thank Carolyn Martin and Asheen for pushing me over the ledge to take on I don't have to go 10 bar and stuff. So far, so good. Please like and subscribe. Please smash that subscribe button and that bell if you want to be notified for further broadcasts. I know people do that. Whatever. I just love that you come here every single day and hang out with me. It's a nice little crew. I know each and every one of you pretty damn well. And when you show up and you're brand new, we all want to get to know you even better. And it's a great thing. So I just want to thank you all for that. I also want to thank the Patreon Pantheon, Jim Lassick, Andrew Wolkwich, Go Moto Soto, Nick Sisto, Complicated Time, Virgo McDermott, Nathaniel Hannon, Dana O'Malley, I'm singing too fast, Lord Scotty H. Dean McKenzie, Al Benedetti, Angelo, Minichello, Gasman 308, Danny L, Dave Fahrenheit 451, David Simons all over the show tonight, Lady with the Wrench, Carolyn Martin not here today, we hope you're good, Easy E, Mimi R, Chris on the Upper East Side, Drew B is leaving us, but we love you, Scott E. Love, they call him, Jocelyn Bittenbender, Ray, Nature Pritz, you guys are great, and a thank you to all the bashers, everybody who sends all their comments, and you know how to do it. You just send me an email at basherdirk@gmail.com. That is basherdirk@gmail.com. That is the best way to get your photos to me, anything you want to share with the rest of the bashers, and we will continue to share them and share with the world. Thank you so much for having a great show. I love having you all here. And guys, remember to hold the door open. Say please and thank you. And remember that when you encounter unkindness, you can't always be sure what's going on in that person's life. Something terrible might have befallen upon them, or either that they're just a